Welcome to the channel, friends. So today's video is going to be a project on the F250. My last video, I diagnosed the EVAP system. I had a leak, and I found out where it was coming from using the a smoke machine. So if you're interested in that, check out that video. But this is going to be a video covering the fix, which is this right here. This is the vapor canister vent valve or vent solenoid. This thing is stuck open on my truck right now, which is causing it to think that the gas cap is loose and throwing all sorts of different codes for the EVAP system. So the swap should be pretty simple. I'm going to show you how to just swap the actual solenoid and not the whole vapor canister. That's a little more involving. This should be easy enough. So let me go ahead on the truck and show you where this is located and what needs to happen. Alright, so before you go ahead and replace the solenoid, you're going to have to actually drop the spare tire. Now this is the actual factory tool for the jack, and also to drop your spare tire you need the spare tire key. You see that? It's like a key just like a lug nut key. So if you try to use this without this key on here and just shove the shaft in there, it's not going to work. It's not going to engage. You need that key in order to drop your spare tire. I actually didn't even know that, and I looked inside the hole with a flashlight and I realized it's keyed. So first step is to drop your spare tire and move it out of the way. Alright, so now we're underneath the truck, and right there you can see, right here where my finger is, that's the vent valve itself. So it's towards the front of the spare tire and it's up in this area on top of it. So in order to remove the vapor canister altogether, you would unloosen these 4 bolts here, actually 2 bolts, and then possibly these other ones here to remove the whole vapor canister. But we're not going to do that. All I have to do is go in there. Let me get these lights out of the way. And as you can see, loosen that solenoid, and we'll first disconnect it from the harness and then loosen it and then pull it out and then replace it with the new one. So I'm going to go ahead and try that now off camera, and I'll let you know how it goes. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled off the old solenoid. I used a screwdriver to pry it off because it was tough to get it off with my fingers. Once I gently pried it with a screwdriver, I was all set. It came right off. On the left is the old one. On the right is the new one. So as you can see, in a normal state when unpowered, it looks the same. So when I was looking at it, I was okay, let me go and test it now. So I applied 12 volts to the old one, and the flapper, that plunger, did not move. I sprayed it down with some silicone spray to see if that would help, and it still didn't, actuate. I tried the new one, and then when you apply 12 volts to the new one, this plunger here, there's a spring in there, and there's a rubber flap, a plunger that goes up. When I applied 12 volts, it projected up and made the seal, because you're basically sealing off this area from the top here, this top port. As you can see, the 2 O-rings. So it's 2 chambers, and essentially right here is where it vents. And so that's how I know I had a bad solenoid. I sprayed it down to try to lube it up to see if it needed to be broken free somehow with some lube. That didn't help. It simply just does not work anymore for whatever reason. Maybe corrosion with New England winters and all the salt and sand and crap, because this thing was dirty when I first pulled it out. I cleaned it off because I sprayed it down with silicone spray to help lube it for the test. But I'm going to go ahead now and install this brand new vent valve solenoid and get the truck back up in operation.